Greetings, my name is Dennis Braun, a Swiss-Canadian designer and game innovator, the introducer of BetaBall, a new outdoor team sport that resembles baseball in some ways, but dramatical new rules that allow both the batting offense to score runs as well as the fielding defense. That's the large innovation in BetaBall. And the game is adaptable to existing sports fields and softball fields throughout the world with a regular 90-degree diamond here, or a square box, and an infield and an outfield and a center field wall, and all the traditional rules of baseball, up until the point when there's a scenario 40 to 60 times a game where there's a new batter and the bases are empty. That's a lead-off batter in every inning, and subsequent batters when there are no base runners. In that case, a defensive point is possible on that play. Only possible when the batter performs so that he is out. He strikes out, grounds out to first, flies out, line drive, high fly ball anywhere in the outfield or anywhere in the foul ball territory that's caught, he's out. The runner must now immediately attempt to run all of the bases and return home to avoid a defensive point. But if the fielding team can all handle the ball, these interior 6 players, these outfield 3 players, for in case of long fly balls, or the total 9-player set has all touched and handled the ball, and the ball has come back to home plate before the runner. Then they're awarded a defensive point. And that defensive point is the result of almost precise catching and throwing on the part of all of the 9 players on the defensive team. And that's what makes it so exciting. So we're going to start off with BetaBall on an existing 90-degree vector field. But later on in a few years, we're going to introduce BetaBall Sevens. And for you in Europe and in Asia, I'd like to make this presentation about that sport because we're looking for investors, people with very high personal net worths to become professional team franchise owners. And so we'll be making this presentation through wealth management companies throughout Asia and throughout Europe, seeking investors or seeking corporations who normally have a position or a stake in professional sport teams. Many Japanese companies are that way, and Korean companies. So basically, this is the innovation of what we call BetaBall Sevens. We reduce the angle of the heel here to a 70-degree vector. The distance to first base and third base remains 28 meters, but the distance from first to second and second to third is only 23 meters. We also have a throwing arc in the outfield, and we also have use only 2 outfielders, 7 players. 2 outfielders, 3 infielders, a pitcher and a catcher. And that's why it's called the BetaBall Sevens. 7 players, 7 innings, 70-degree vector. The games only take about 30 to 35, 40 minutes to play the game, and so it's conducive to weekend or week-long tournaments in special facilities that we hope to build for BetaBall Sevens. Here's one well to the future. It's called a triplex. This is for BetaBall Sevens, in which we have 3 fields, 70-degree vector fields, and we have stands in between them, spectator stands. We have a center core here that houses all the utilities, the offices, the press rooms, the studios, the administration, and other functions that we might put in this large mega gazebo. And then, of course, we have around the perimeter, the circumference, and into the center core, we have two-level, back-to-back corporate suites. About 300 or 400 of these corporate suites in this complex. Okay. Here's another view of the complex. You can see a better view of the center core. And these are the stands. Initially, we'll build these perhaps with only 10, 12, 15,000 fan capacity in each of these areas. But eventually, as we grow bigger, we might grow this to 20 to 25,000 capacity for each of them, to a 75,000 person capacity for the whole of the complex. And you have games going all the time. The weekend tournaments or 5-day tournaments usually involve between 16 and 32 teams. So if you come and purchase a day ticket to a BetaBall Sevens tournament, the tickets are quite expensive, but they're for a whole day's entertainment, an evening's entertainment. You'll probably see 6 or 7 games involving 150 to 175 different players. It's directed at those sports fans, like baseball fans, who are so busy and really don't have the time to follow a team, a singular team in a professional league that might play a 140 or 180 game schedule over 6 or 7 months and have an 80 or 60 or 80 game home schedule in which they ask you to purchase season tickets. Excuse me. The tickets here are only day tickets or weekend tickets or 1 week tickets, depending upon the time that an individual and his son and his various friends have to take away from their urban environment and come to a BetaBall Sevens complex. Now, one of the things in the complex is the adaptation of the BetaBall home plate. This is larger than the existing baseball home plate. The front dimension is 18.5 inches, not 17 inches. So the base is an extra 1.5 inches wide. Normally this side length in baseball is only 8.5 inches. We extend that to 17 inches. And then we have the base either 70-degree vector or 90-degree vector for the triangular base of home plate. Now, what happened in baseball is we link these up, and only when there's a defensive play in progress is the plate opened. See, opened, so that its length here is 34 inches. And for a defensive point in BetaBall, the catcher owns the front of the plate and the runner owns the rear of the plate. So there's no collisions, there's no tagging, and there's only touching of the base. Now, you might, in BetaBall, we use the plate extended throughout the whole of the game. But basically, it's the same rules. We have the 60 or 70 times a game where you have a fresh batter and the bases are empty, and there's a possibility for a defensive point to be made. Now, if the leadoff runner walks or hits a run and makes it to first base, that cancels any potential defensive point for the fielders for the rest of that inning. Unless somebody gets up and hits a home run, clears all the bases, and now the defensive point opportunity arises again when the new batter comes up, and of course the bases are empty. So we think 40 to 60 times a game we're going to see all kinds of excitement in the outfield, finalized by an outfielder throwing the ball to the catcher. This is one of the most exciting plays in baseball. that throw by the outfielder to the catcher to try to nail a runner. Well, this is the essence of BetaBall, and I think we have an opportunity to attract a lot of baseball fans in Europe and in Asia, as well as basketball and soccer fans. These are the sports to which they're moving towards now. But the essential goal of BetaBall and BetaBall Sevens is to attract young people and old people away from their screens. They're spending hour after hour every day on their iPhones, their mobile phones, their handies, their tablets, their computer screens, their PlayStations, their movie theaters, their home theaters, screens throughout the day, 5, 6, 8 hours a day on screens. We're trying to lure them back to the playing fields, to the baseball fields, and to the sports facilities in their neighborhood. Get better conditioning and develop camaraderie with their neighbors. So that's the ultimate purpose of BetaBall Sevens, and we'll try to contact as many wealthy Asians and Europeans who would like to be the owner of a professional sports franchise. We hope to fill that gap and work together to develop this sport with you. Thank you.